Donald Trump is really going through some things as the weight of reality hits him hard. Vice President Kamala Harris continues to surge in the polls and rack up endorsement after endorsement, and Donald Trump just doesn't seem to be handling it well. He's sending out all these deranged emails to his supporters. He is making these unhinged posts on social media. We actually subscribe to Donald Trump's email list here at the MeidasTouch Network, so you don't have to, but it's important that we know what Donald Trump is communicating to his base. So Donald Trump sends out this email that says, "Photo from Trump. I signed this photo for you. All I need is a shipping address." When you open it, he says, "After another attempt on my life, my commitment to save America is stronger than ever. I signed this just for you as a thank you for your support." And he has a photo of himself with his signature grifting off the incident that occurred at his golf course, just like he did within minutes of that happening over the weekend. Donald Trump's stock yesterday was absolutely cratering. Trump media actually lost a lawsuit against one of the original investors in Trump media who said that Trump media engaged in a breach of contract. The judge agreed they had to give up more shares, and Donald Trump's stock continues to nosedive. One of the reasons why Donald Trump is completely flummoxed at the moment is because of this Harris x Harvard National poll. This had Trump up on Biden and Harris by 4 to 6% in every single poll that they had from January to July, except this time. This time, the Harris x Harvard National poll had Vice President Kamala Harris up 52% to Donald Trump's 48%. A massive, massive shift in the electorate. The Angus Reid Global poll from September 13th to 16th has Kamala Harris up 49% to Trump's 45%. The Monmouth, this is an A-plus national poll, has Kamala Harris at 49% to Donald Trump's 44%. And the Morning Consult poll that had a massive amount of people sign up to participate had Kamala Harris at 51% and Donald Trump at 45%, the largest lead by any candidate in this poll in the entirety of 2024. Donald Trump, he held this fake town hall yesterday with Sarah Huckabee Sanders in Michigan for some reason. So he's in Flint, Michigan. So of course, Donald Trump needs to say that global warming is a hoax, or actually that it could be a good thing because that means people in Michigan may have more seafront property. Here's the clip.
This nuclear power. And when I hear these people talking about global warming, that's the global warming you have to worry about. Not that the ocean's going to rise in 400 years, an eighth of an inch, and you'll have more seafront property, right, if that happens. I said, is that good or bad? I said, isn't that a good thing? If I have a little property on the ocean, I have a little bit more property. I have a little bit more ocean. But
here's a moment, just an absolutely disgusting moment, where Sarah Huckabee Sanders, speaking before, follows in Vance's footsteps here, and she mocks Vice President Harris for not having biological children. Watch.
So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble.
Let me give you a palate cleanser for a second. Let's check in with what Governor Tim Walz was saying when he was speaking in North Carolina yesterday. He was speaking about J.D. Vance getting called out for the press for spreading these vicious lies about immigrants in Ohio and admitting on TV that he's willing to create stories to drum up support. Watch this.
This last weekend, Donald Trump's running mate, Senator Vance, did a really remarkable thing. He got called out by a fair and free press that are a part of our democracy and fundamental to the freedoms of this country. He got called out by that press about telling vicious, hurtful lies about immigrants. But he did something. He did something. He told the truth. They asked him if maybe it was an accident or he didn't mean it. No, he said, I admit it. I'm willing to create stories to spread fear to drum up support for us. Now, the only thing amongst this group is no kidding. We've been seeing that for years. Yeah, but at least they admitted it. At least they admitted it. So you got to ask, what other things are they making up stories about? I think you know. I think you know. The reason you do that is because if you told what you really stood for, no one would vote for you. And that includes the folks who think that, because you know you have your neighbors who are out there. Hell, we have them in our families, don't we know? So, but that's what happens. And I don't really like Donald Trump, but I like what he stands for. Oh, really? Suppressing women's reproductive rights, is that the one you want? Or is it cutting taxes for billionaires while you get screwed in the middle class? Is that the one you like? Or is it ignoring real problems, like our children being shot dead in schools? Is it those things or whatever? So I think for all of us, the truth here, you know who Donald Trump is. You know the pain that he caused.
Now let's go back to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, speaking at this town hall again, goes on this rambling, long, bizarre answer, still obviously having Vice President Kamala Harris's debate comments about people leaving his events in his head. This is just an absolute mess. Watch this.
She said, I don't think I've ever said this before. So we do these rallies, they're massive rallies. Everybody stays till the end, by the way. You know, when she said that, well, your rallies, people leave. Honestly, nobody does. And if I saw them leaving, I'd say, and ladies and gentlemen, make America great again, and I'd get the hell out, okay? Because I don't want people leaving. But I do have to say, so I give these long, sometimes very complex sentences and paragraphs, but they all come together. I do it a lot. I do it with Raising Cane, that story. I do it with the story on the catapults on the aircraft carriers. I do it with a lot of different stories. When I mention Dr. Hannibal Lecter, I'm using that as an example of people that are coming in from Silence of the Lambs. I use it. They say, it's terrible. So they say, so I'll give this long, complex area. For instance, that I talked about a lot of different territory. The bottom line is, I said the most important thing. We're going to bring more plants into your state and this country to make automobiles. We're going to be bigger than before. But the fake news, there's a lot of them back there. You know, for a town hall, there's a lot of people. But the fake news likes to say, oh, he was rambling. No, that's not rambling. That's genius when you can connect the dots. You gotta now, Sarah, if you couldn't connect the dots, you got a problem. But every dot was connected and many stories were told in that little paragraph.
All right, palate cleanser. Let's have Governor Walz tell you the MAGA Republican game about how they tell you government doesn't work and then they get elected and prove it.
But I will say this. On the second one, this is the one thing he kept his word on. And he actually followed through with it. He said to his rich buddies, well, you're rich as hell, and I'm going to give you a tax cut. He did. He did give a tax cut to the wealthiest amongst us. All the while creating the largest debt of any president in history. And then, as our Republican friends are so apt to do, they tell you government doesn't work, then they get elected and prove it. We know that shell game. And the third thing he did, and he brags about this often, he forgets about this too. He rammed through 3 judges who made sure that women are no longer responsible for their own health care choices. And I don't know, he found enough energy to do this. He did all that before he tried to violently overthrow our election and deny a free and fair election.
As a kid, I loved eating cereal, but as an adult, I don't want all that sugar, and most cereals don't give me the protein I need. Then I found Magic Spoon, a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like my childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan like I am, I have big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high-protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious and have already become my favorite before and after gym snack. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you are eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, and there's so many more. I love the cocoa ones. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 11 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolate peanut butter, chocolatey peanut butter. I personally love Magic Spoon's chocolatey peanut butter treats. I have one every morning to start the day off on the right foot, and I know you will love it as well. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Meidas or look for Magic Spoon in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/Meidas, MEIDAS, for $5 off. Magic Spoon, Hold on to the dream. MagicSpoon.com/Meidas.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris spoke at the National Association of Black Journalists, where she shared her thoughts on Trump's recent attacks on the Haitian immigrants in this country.
The American people deserve, and I do believe want better than this. I do believe that. I know. The vast majority of us as Americans know we have so much more in common than what separates us. I know that. I know that regardless of someone's background, their race, their gender, their geographic location, I know that people are deeply troubled by what is happening to that community in Springfield, Ohio. And it's got to stop. And we've got to say that you cannot be entrusted with standing behind the seal of the President of the United States of America, engaging in that hateful rhetoric that, as usual, is designed to divide us as a country, is designed to have people pointing fingers at each other. It's designed to do that. And I think most people in our country, regardless of their race, are starting to see through this nonsense and to say, you know what, let's turn the page on this. This is exhausting and it's harmful and it's hateful and grounded in some age-old stuff that we should not have the tolerance for. So let's turn the page and chart a new way forward and say, you can't have that microphone again.
I could not agree more, but let's check in with what J.D. Vance was saying at around the same time, where J.D. Vance blames the media for the chaos of what's happening in Springfield, Ohio, as a result of his and Donald Trump's words.
Hi, Senator Vance. Katrina Kaufman, CBS News. So a woman who was behind an early Facebook post about the Haitian migrants in Springfield has now apologized for spreading false rumors. You say that you have a responsibility to share what your constituents tell you, but don't you also have a responsibility to fact-check them first?
Well, I think the media has a responsibility to fact-check the residents of Springfield, not lie about them. I mean,
here's J.D. Vance being asked for his response on Senate Republicans yesterday blocking the Right to IVF Act for the second time.
The Senate today blocked an IVF bill. Do you have any comments you want to share about that, especially considering last time Trump was in Western Wisconsin, he shared his support for that?
so I think we have to be careful here because the Senate did not block an IVF bill. The Senate blocked a ridiculous show vote bill that had no chance of passing.
Yeah, well, it had no chance of passing because Republicans voted against it. Anyway, Vice President Harris's momentum continues to increase. Just a little bit after Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, now we get another big endorsement from a pop superstar. We got an endorsement from Billie Eilish and her brother and fellow musician, Phineas. Check this out.
Today is National Voter Registration Day, and we are asking you to please join us in going to iwillvote.com to check your status and vote early like we do.
We are voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because they are fighting to protect our reproductive freedom, our planet, and our democracy.
We can't let extremists control our lives, our freedoms, and our future. The only way to stop them and the dangerous Project 2025 agenda is to vote and elect Kamala Harris.
Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
Go to iwillvote.com and make a plan to vote early.
Love you guys.
And as you think about how you're going to vote in this election, I encourage you to look at how these candidates are behaving right now. We see that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are literally, as we speak, endangering the lives of people in Springfield, Ohio with their lies. Here's a list of all these places in Springfield, Ohio that have either been placed on lockdown, evacuated, closed, or have been searched at some point over the last week due to threats because of these phony stories that are being spread by Vance Vance and Trump. We got Springfield City Hall, Springfield Bureau of Motor Vehicles, the Driver's Exam Station, the local Ohio License Bureau, the Government Center, the Clark County Department of Job and Family Services, the Clark County Common Pleas Court, the Clark County Board of Education, the Clark County Juvenile Court, the A.B. Graham Building, the Springfield Academy of Excellence, the Fulton Elementary School, Perrin Woods Elementary School, Snow Hill Elementary School, Roosevelt Middle School, Kettering Health Springfield, Mercy Health Springfield Regional Medical Center, Wittenberg University, Clark State College, Simon Kenton Elementary School, Kenwood Elementary School. I know that's a lot to read, but I felt it was important to go over all of them just to show you the extent of the damage that is being caused by these lies, just to score political points, to try to rile people up into a fervor. It is absolutely disgusting what we are seeing. And meanwhile, you have Donald Trump, who is now running against Donald Trump, apparently. Donald Trump is now vowing to repeal part of his own tax cut plan in a bid to win over New Yorkers. I don't know why Donald Trump thinks that he could win New York, but he is desperate right now for every single vote, and he is throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. So he is literally going against his own plan that he implemented with his tax cuts, which disproportionately ended up affecting blue states. This is when he reduced the cap on salt, the state and local taxes, which disproportionately affected states like New York and California. Now, Trump says he's going to reverse the policy on state and local tax deductibility that he signed into law in his own tax bill if he is elected. And you could see his whole post here. Once again, these desperate all caps. What the hell do you have to lose? I will turn it around. Get salt back. You got rid of salt. You did that. You can't just act like you're going to fix the problem that you created, but I know that's what you always do. You break it, then you want to be the person who comes in and fixes it. But people see through the BS. Oh, by the way, we showed those clips of JD Vance. What you couldn't really see there is that this was a very small venue that JD Vance was speaking in. Like, as Ron Filipkowski, our editor-in-chief, said, is this someone's garage? Take a look at this picture. It's just, this Trump campaign is getting embarrassing, folks. He is spiraling out of control every single day. It is something crazy. It is more lies. It is more deranged messages. And you know that we here at the MeidasTouch Network are going to stay on top of it 100% for you. We are not letting any of this insanity slide. We are going to call it out every single time. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I am filling in, as you all know, for Ben, who is on Baby Watch, and we will give you all the details on that when we can. I want to thank you for all the support. Remember to like this video. Remember to subscribe. Remember to leave a comment. Remember to subscribe to the MeidasTouch audio podcast. All of this helps us a whole lot, and I know Ben is checking in throughout the day, and if he sees that all of you are tuned in and that are loving these videos, I know that it's going to make him happy as well. And by the way, I've sent him all your love, and he is so appreciative. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.